All right, everybody. So did anyone attend the morning class as well?
Yeah, I did.
You did. Okay, okay. All good because, it's pretty much, all right, everybody. So it's essay writing class. And in this session, we're going to, learn how to write conclusions, basically. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, so let's select a topic.
Yep.
And I want you to write conclusions and send it to me in the chat box.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, you don't have to listen to the same thing again.
Yep.
So in your, so I'm sure it's the same in PTE as well.
Yep.
So you have the essay topics.
Yep.
Yep. So we will select any one topic, whichever, you want to work on.
Mm-hmm.
And just write the conclusions and send it to me in the chat box.
Yep.
Okay. And if you want, you can write the whole essay as well, because we've got plenty of time.
Yeah.
I'm happy to mark it for you.
And MMPrep age is okay if I leave now and then I will come back in 15 minutes and 20 minutes. Is all right?
Yeah, it'll be fine. Yep, all good.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
See you then.
No problem. Yes, see ya.
Sorry, Manpreet, I attended morning class as well. So can I?
Yeah, Daphne, I know. Yeah. So I'm going to do a bit of, basics with you guys, and then we're going to work on this week's grammar after that. Okay. So Daphne, have you been taking classes in between or?
No. I just came to this course 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
And yeah, and I have the text in the following Sunday if they lift the lockdown, because I booked it and now we are in lockdown again. So I'm not sure.
So you have next Sunday, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. So then let's do the basics. Yeah. All right. Okay. So for essay writing, so Robert, you're doing PTE. So
Yes.
it's the same for IELTS and PTE. The only difference is, the time and, the word count. So for IELTS, you have to, you're given 40 minutes and you have to write at least 150 words. So more than 150 words. Okay. And for PTE, you have total of 20 minutes. And you have to write anywhere, words anywhere between 200 and 300. Okay, so if you write in around 250 words, that would be a perfect word count for an essay. Okay, hi Vincent.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Vincent, we're doing essay writing. So did you attend the morning class?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so if you, I'm just doing the basics with these guys. So first 2 minutes we will spend on preparation. So you have to plan the essay. So planning would mean when you have the question in front of you, you have to read the question, you have to understand it and see what you're going to write in your essay. So basically thinking of all the ideas that you're going to write in your essay in the first 2 minutes. So, so you don't waste any time while you're writing it and thinking at the same time. And then always at the end, save some time to edit your essay. So maybe 1 to 2 minutes, because it's a computer-based test, even IELTS nowadays. So it's a computer-based test. So when you're typing, there are some typing errors. So it can be some spelling, some grammar, some punctuation. So it's always better to have some time at the end to, get rid of these errors, basically. And then after time management, we have different types of essays that you can get in your test. So you can get any different type in your test. So we have argumentative, discussion, advantages, disadvantages, causes and effects, problems and solutions. So these are the different types of essays, and we give you templates for each of the type of essay. Okay, so yeah, so I'll try to put the templates in your module 11 this week. So yeah, you can always use the templates to write your essay. All right, the next thing is how the scoring is done. So it's the same for both IELTS and PTE. So number one is task achievement. You know, task achievement means if you've understood the question properly and you've addressed the question fully. That means you're not going off track, you're just writing the ideas related to the question. And then number two is grammar. So your grammar needs to be correct, basically. Means your tenses and sentence structures needs to be correct, and you should be using different type of sentences, which you will be taught in the class. And you have to use the connecting words as well. So the simple connecting words are firstly, secondly, thirdly, but you can always use the better ones instead. So instead of firstly, we can say first of all, or to begin with, and or the most important reason or the most important advantage, something like that. So you know, using better vocab.
Sorry, can you write them in the chat?
Sorry,
Can you write those words in the chat?
I'll just write it here, no problem.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. So to begin with, first of all, or the most important. Depends if it's a reason, so reason is or advantage is. Okay, so this would be for the first one. And for the second point, second idea, we can always say, so the simple one is secondly, or we can just say moreover, furthermore, or the second most important. Okay, so these are some of the examples of connecting words. All right, then number three is vocabulary. So you have to use correct vocab. That means you have to only use the words that you're familiar with and you completely understand. Vocabulary is very important for both IELTS and PTE. It's not just for writing, even for reading, for listening and speaking. So, you know, so for this one, I always suggest to, you know, make a list of new words, make a list of vocab that you learn every day. So it can be even one or two words a day, but always try to, you know, maybe have a Word document or, you know, just a notebook and keep writing the words that are new for you. And yeah, try to use them in your day-to-day conversations so you get familiar with the meanings. The number four is structure. So structure or format. Always, it can be any different type of essay, but you always have to form 4 paragraphs. Okay. Clear this much, everyone?
Yep.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Yeah. All right. And then after that, these are the type of sentences. So we'll do it not now, but in next week's class, hopefully. Okay, now let's talk about the structure. And after this, we're going to move on to this week's grammar. So structure, as I said, there's always 4 paragraphs. So introduction, 2 body paragraphs, and conclusion, always 4 paragraphs. So introduction can be around 50 words. So it's written 50 words, it can be 40 to 50 words. You don't have to just stick with this number. It can be around 50 words. So in our introduction, we need 3 sentences. So number 1 is background sentence, so which you can always use. When I give you the templates, so background sentence template is there. So you can always, for example, the topic is about, let's say, online education, you know. So that's the topic, but background sentence can either be based on technology or education in general. So we can just say over the past few decades, education sector has improved a lot. And, you know, nowadays, then the second sentence would start with nowadays. You know, you just have to bridge it. So you, not literally every time, but you can start the second sentence by just saying nowadays. So we will just say nowadays, people prefer to study online due to various reasons. And if it's talking about advantages and disadvantages, then the thesis statement basically is, so thesis statement is, it tells the examiner what you're going to write about in the rest of the paragraphs. Okay, so if it's about advantages, disadvantages, so we can just say this essay will discuss both advantages and disadvantages of online education. Okay, so 3 sentences, starting with the background sentence. Number 1, over the past few decades, education sector has been improving a lot. Number 2, nowadays people prefer to, you know, study online due to various reasons. But it, and number 3 is thesis statement, but it has both advantages and disadvantages, which will be discussed in this essay. Okay, so that will be your full introduction. Clear? Hi, Hadyati.
Hi, I'm great.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Good, beautiful. We're doing essay writing.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So so there's a few new students just explaining the basics. The others are writing the conclusions. So yeah. So once we finish this, we're going to work on this week's grammar.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. Then after introduction, we have body paragraphs. The 2 body paragraphs. And for each of the body paragraph, we need 1 topic sentence and 2 ideas. So total of 3, we can say 1 topic sentence. So topic sentence is basically what you're going to write in this particular essay, particular paragraph. So let's say, let's look at this one. So topic sentence for second paragraph is, you know, so if we are writing, let's say, advantages in this particular paragraph, so we can just give a topic sentence that says there are several or numerous advantages of so and so. And this is a topic sentence, simple. After that, we need 2 ideas for each of the paragraph. So not more than that, not less than that. 2 ideas for each with examples. If you don't have examples, explain it further. Okay, so if you can look here, it says idea 1 and then explain or example, and then is idea 2, explain and example. Okay, so just 2 ideas. We don't have to worry about writing more than that. Just 2 ideas. Okay, same for body paragraph 2, which is paragraph 3. And then is the conclusion. So conclusion, 30 to 50 words. So, you know, in conclusion, it's mostly you have to give a suggestion, you know. So you have to suggest something, but you don't have to say I think, but in general. So we can make a conditional sentence like this one, which we're going to learn today. So conclusion basically has 2 sentences, not more than that. Okay, so this was the structure. Any questions about the structure?
No.
All good.
Yeah.
All right, then after that, so when I was saying you have to think, you have to write 2 ideas for each of the body paragraph. So when you think of the ideas in the planning stage, so these are the different perspectives that you can think your idea, think of your ideas from. So, you know, for if it's about, let's say, online education, so how it's affecting you individually, what are the advantages for you individually? And does it have any advantages for the society as a whole, or on education, on financial basis, or financial perspective, cultural perspective. So just think from different aspects or different perspectives. You will have more ideas, variety of ideas in that case. Okay. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's the basics that we're going to do today. And so if you don't have any questions, then we'll move on to the grammar for this week. So in your respective portals, so IELTS and PTE, you have this worksheet available. So in IELTS, it's in grammar section, but in PTE, it's in your essay section, in writing section. So it says grammar lesson, although, while, plus passive voice. This is what we're going to do now. Just open this worksheet on your screens as well, and let me know when you have it on your screen. Vincent, any questions?
No.
Writing the conclusions?
Yeah, conclusion. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, but I have a question. Sorry. So for the first question, so do I need to write like a different side in the own country and the other country for a conclusion, or just one?
I don't get it. Let me-
Okay, because there are two questions, like traveling to other countries and first explore our own country. So if I personally agree, maybe traveling other countries is better. So should I write some conclusion for like just for a
Yeah. So it can either depend upon your view. So which one do you think is better, or you can just just balance it. So you can say this is so both of them has some benefits and drawbacks, something like that. So you can either balance it or just talk about one. That's your choice.
okay, yeah, I got it. Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Manpreet, I can't seem to find this on my
So in your I'm not sure. So module 11 PTE, it should be under your writing section, essay writing.
hold on.
Hadiati, did you find it? Did you find it, Robert?
Alright, PTs. Where can I find it? I'm sorry.
In your writing section. Hadiati, are you there? Can you find it in your PTE section, writing section?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, writing section and
Essay writing, and it should say grammar lesson.
grammar lessons. Hold on.
Hey, Biak.
Yep.
Yeah, Biak, do you see this grammar worksheet in your portal?
No, I think so. I'm not sure. Let me check.
You didn't do it in the morning? Yeah. So this is what we're going to learn. And you know, most of the times, all those sentences are used in your introduction, thesis statement, and your conclusion, which is what we're working on today. So although means but, that's the basic meaning of although, and it is used to connect two contrasting ideas. So for example, we have two sentences. She was not feeling well. Even though she was not feeling well, she went to work. So she was not feeling well, one idea. The contrasting idea is she still went to work. And if we have to join these two ideas in one sentence, so we will say, although she was not feeling well, she went to work. Okay. And if you use, there's just one grammar rule that you have to remember when you make sentences with although or while, that if you use it in the beginning of the sentence, then you have to put comma in the middle before the second idea. Okay. But the other way of writing this one is, can anyone tell me how do you write? Can anyone try and write this sentence in a different way?
Although she was not feeling well, she went to work.
So let's say without using a comma.
She went to work although she was not feeling well.
She went to work although she was not feeling well. So basically, if we use this word in the middle, we don't need a comma. But if you use it in the very beginning of the sentence, then we need a comma before the second idea. Okay, so just keep this grammar rule in mind. So although, and this can, the other word can be however.
However, she went to work.
Okay, so although, however, and we can even use even though. Okay, so these are some of the words that you can use to join the contrasting ideas. Clear?
Yep.
Yep. All right. Okay. Then next is we have a few examples here. So connect to the following sentences. So we have two sentences given to us, and you have to connect these ones, and so connect both the ideas and make one sentence out of it. So there's three sentences. So Robert can do one, Daphne can do number two, Hadiati can do number three, and Biak can do number three as well.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, what question? Okay, so you posted the question as well. Okay, Biak, it's either in the world, so visiting other countries in the world, or on the globe. Okay. Good, Biak. That's a good introduction. Sorry, conclusion. Yeah, so just few grammatical errors. So on the globe and good. Although there are 30 girls in the course, the boys still outnumber the girls by 2 to 1. Good, Daphne. The cost of living is rising in big cities. A lot of families still want to move to. Okay, Hadiati, can we use something else instead of repeating big cities twice? So we try and avoid repeating any of the words. So can we say something else in the second part? So a lot of families still want to move. Can we use a pronoun instead?
Pronouns. I mean, you mean change the big cities to
So we can say, although the cost of living has risen in big cities, a lot of people still want to move there.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, waiting for Robert and Biak. Okay, yeah, you guys can type it in the chat box whenever you have the sentence ready. So there are advantages to the pace of normal life. It also has good. Good, Robert. Just one thing. So instead of had, we will use has.
Yes. Okay.
Because it's present.
Okay.
You know, yeah, that's it. Good, beautiful. That's it, everybody. So all those sentences, and you're going to use this in your introduction thesis sentence and your conclusion. Okay. All right. Then number 2. Okay, there's more sentences. We don't need to do it now, but you can do it at home. Okay. So I'm going to put this worksheet in your portal, so you can just do these ones at home. Okay. Now next is passive sentence. So active, passive. Does anyone know what is the meaning? What is the difference in active and passive sentences?
Active is when we have a subject, right?
Yep. Active is when we focus on the subject. Beautiful. And passive is when the subject is not important.
Yeah.
Good. That's it. So passive voices we use when the action is more important. So we don't give importance to the subject, but we give importance to the action, what is being done. So, you know, so for example, the applications are processed on the spot. We don't know who did it because we are focusing on the action. And what is the action in this particular sentence?
Are processed.
Yeah, so applications are processed. We're not talking about who did it. Okay, so next is, so sometimes we don't know the subject and sometimes the subject is obvious. You know, for example, in this particular sentence, I was advised to revise my essay. Who usually advise you, gives you such advices?
Yeah, the teacher.
Teacher, yeah. So we don't need to say, I was advised to revise my essay by my teacher because it's obvious, okay? Or we can say, I was given this prescription.
Yeah, by the doctor, yeah.
The doctor, yeah. So we don't have to say by the doctor. We can, you know, I was given a prescription. Who gives out prescription? It's just a doctor. So, yeah. And the next is, the subject is not the focus of the sentence, but the end result is. So basically, in passive sentence, we don't give importance to the subject at all, you know, so due to various reasons. The data is collected. So we don't need to, you know, we don't need to say who collected it. It can be the analyst, it can be anyone. But the more importance is given to the action, which is the collection of data. So that is the important thing. Subject is not important. Just remember, in passive sentence, This is what we're going to use in our conclusions, okay? So you will be using the passive sentence in your conclusions a lot of times. So it's very important to understand how to, write this sentence. So passive structure basically is you have to use the, be verb. So be verb is, does anyone know what a be verb is? Okay, be verb means is, am, are, was, and were. Okay, so instead of saying all of that, we just, we just write be. So yeah. So be has different forms. It's is, am, are in present, and was, were in past. Okay, so and then after that, past participle. What is the meaning of past participle? So be is, am, are, was, were, and what's past participle?
I don't know.
Third form of the verb. So in this one, past participle is the third form of the verb, so go, went, gone. Do, did, done. So done is past participle, so third form of the verb. So in passive sentences, we use be form and we use past participle, which is the third form of the verb. And if you look at these examples here, so it says the data was collected. So collected is the third form of the verb, past participle. Last week, we don't have to say by whosoever. And then, so if you want to make it in present, the data is collected every day. Even if you're using it in present, still, we will be using the third form of the verb, past participle. Clear, everybody? So your sentence can be in present, past, future. In all three types, we will be using past participle. We don't, so we'll not be using first or second form of the verb. Clear, everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if that's all fine, so we have a few sentences that we are going to, so just one sentence each again. Okay. So number one, Robert. Number two, Daphne. Number three, Biak. Just one sentence each. You don't have to do more than that. Hey, Vincent, did you finish writing the conclusion?
Not yet. I just
Okay.
finished the first one. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So when you finish the first one, just put it in the chat box so I can check it.
Okay.
Babe, I have sent my conclusion. Have you got it?
Oh, yes, Biak. I even, yeah. Yeah, I have checked it and I even said, so there are some grammar errors, but otherwise
Yep.
it's perfect. So for example, when we're saying visiting other countries in the world,
Yep.
okay, or when we use the word globe, so it's on.
On the globe.
Okay, the rest of it is fine. It's good. Yeah, so you've kind of balanced, but you've kind of gone towards, so traveling our country instead of going overseas much. It's fine. Yeah, you can either, talk about one or you can balance it out. It's good.
And
Yeah.
then, member, I have question. For example, like I always use in conclusion. I just wrote conclusion. In conclusion, it is fine. Or can I use another word instead of this include conclusion?
Yeah, you can say to conclude, or you can say in a nutshell.
In a nutshell. Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Any
then
of
how about I'm all the time using in the future, the natures of something like that. This in the future also fine, or
in the future is fine. Yeah. There shouldn't be a problem with that.
Because
Yep.
I always use recommendations, so I always use in the future.
Yeah.
It is fine, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the future, it's fine. Till the time you're not repeating it, it's fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. because you'll just be getting one essay. So yeah, it should be okay. All right, the explosion was knocked down several. Okay, what is okay, Daphne, what's the subject in this one?
Explosion.
Okay. So we will change it. So the explosion knocked down several buildings. So this would come at the first. So
Yeah, I was
object,
just thinking like several buildings were knocked down by the explosion.
that's it. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
All good, all good. The government paid for the metropolitan infrastructure, was paid by the government. Yes, yeah. Good, Robert. All right. Okay. Okay. So now the passive sentences are clear. The all the sentences are clear. So now moving on to the conclusion. So I'm sure everybody knows what modal verb or modal verb is. So should, need to, must, all of these are modal verbs, which are, why do we use modal verbs?
To give this how you call this suggestion.
Yeah. So modal verbs are used to give suggestions. So should, need to, and must. These are used for suggestions or advice, these three. And this is what we're going to use in our conclusions. And we will use modal verbs and then a passive sentence. So for example, if you look at this sentence here, so it says more job opportunities, then modal verb should be created for young people, and attention must be given to the importance of education. Okay, so it's passive form and using the modal verb as well. So you will be using this in your conclusion. So if you, so this is your complete conclusion. So the first sentence would be the although sentence. Okay, so you just have to, as I said, in your introduction, thesis sentence would be an although sentence. So you just have to restate the thesis statement in your conclusion and then give a recommendation or give a suggestion. So starting with the although sentence, and then after that, passive sentence using modal verb. Okay, so that would be your full conclusion. So just read this one here, everybody, Robert, and everyone, just read this conclusion. And after this, I'm going to give you one topic and we're going to write one conclusion in the class.
Okay.
By the time, I'll check the conclusion that Vincent has written. Good, Vincent. Just the first sentence. Vincent, quickly, you're doing IELTS, right?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, okay. So just the first sentence here. So we don't have to say all things above. So you can just say above all, that would be fine. You know, or in simple words, we can just say to conclude. And
Okay.
this paper have discussed that there are several positive effects of, so we don't have to write this.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll just say to conclude. even though, so just start with your this sentence. So although majority of people believe that we should travel locally. Okay, and then
Okay.
the conditional sentence. This is fine. We don't need the full sentence at all.
Okay, but I mean the word is the number is enough for a conclusion. If I remove this paper or blah, blah,
So you can just say, you can start your sentence by saying, although there are both positive and negative, positive, there are, oh, what am I saying? You can just say, although there are both benefits and drawbacks, of visiting, of traveling overseas,
okay.
comma, majority of people believe, and then, yeah, we'll talk about this. But we don't need this, this paper have discussed that. We don't need that.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. thank you.
Otherwise, it's fine. Good.
Okay.
Yeah. It's always good to balance it, just like you did here, because it adds variety, basically. Good. Beautiful. Okay. Let me know. So any questions, Robert? Daphne?
No questions.
Okay.
No,
Are you ready to write a conclusion now?
I think.
You'll
I'll
be
try.
fine. So
I'll
all
try.
you have to do is restate, so use the although sentence, number one. And second would be you, because you have to give recommendation or suggestion. So you have to use passive sentence with a modal verb. So must, should, need to, any of those.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. All right. Let me give you a topic quickly and let me quickly see if there's a topic in your, so in your PTE, do you have this where it says practice test?
Mm,
Yeah, practice test we have.
You have it?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just don't have grammar part. Yep.
Okay, so I've made a note of it. So I'm going to upload it definitely this evening. If not this evening, then definitely tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. All right, so I want you all to open the practice test. And there is a question given to you. And you just have to write the conclusion, nothing else. Write conclusion here and then finish attempt.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Yep, I have done it this morning.
Oh, you did it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's just because I can't see the PTE course for some reason.
Oh.
I won't be able to look at it. Yeah. Yeah.
How about should I send you again in chat box?
You can do that. You can do that. Yep. Vincent, did you finish writing? Did you write the conclusion in practice test?
Thank you, Manpreet. I need to go now. Thank
Okay,
you.
Daphne. Okay, see ya.
See you. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm still writing the second one.
Okay. All right. Okay. Just finish it in another, we're just left with 5 minutes. So Vincent, did you do this practice test or not?
No.
No, okay. So what you have to do now is just open this and the conclusion that you're writing now in the class. And there's the topic here as well. Do you see this topic? The question?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you will write both the conclusions here in this box, but just copy paste the topic as well for me to check. Make sense or not?
Sorry, can you say again?
Yeah, so I'm saying the conclusion that you're writing now in the class,
Okay.
because we are about to finish the class. We're just left with 5 minutes. So I want you to post, paste it here in your practice test so I can check it later.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Just
and
finish
you
it.
will write the conclusion that you're writing now and this one as well.
Oh, okay.
So total of 2.
Okay.
Okay, and then finish attempt and it will be saved. And I will try to mark it tomorrow and you will get feedback.
Okay, yeah, okay, I
Okay,
got
yeah,
it. Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
It's just because we're finishing the class, so that's why.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
all right.
All right. Yeah. So everyone, please try to do this. So this is your homework. Everyone. So if you want some feedback, so you should always finish the homework.
And sorry for interrupting you and then asking question like but
It's all
telling
good.
you.
It's all good, yeah.
Yeah. For example, as for PTE student, sometimes we also follow you and our teacher, you and me. But sometimes it is not practical about we